All right, everyone. So I'm just going to show you really quickly how to make a mask. So the first thing I want to do is drag my footage over. Okay, so here it is, my footage. Now, for my goal for this mask, I want to put an image inside this little computer screen that's playing Baby Shark. I want to replace that with anything else. It could be a still photo, it could be video, whatever. So what I'm going to do is select my video, and I want my effects controls to open. So here it is. Okay. And I'm going to toggle the little caret next to opacity. Now I can make it just a straight, square rectangle. I can do, circle kind of thing. But because this isn't an exact rectangle, right? It's perspective wise, it's a little slanted. I want to use my pen tool. All right, you'll notice as soon as I click on it, the mask appears. All right, I'm going to come over. My arrow key has now been replaced by this little pen tool, and I'm going to click my four corners, and boom. All right, so what the mask has done is cut out anything that's not in the mask. So the Baby Shark video is there, everything else is deleted. Now that's obviously the opposite of what we want, right? We want the Baby Shark video to not be there, and we want everything around it. So I'm going to come over here and hit inverted. Okay, so now it's this black screen in the computer, which is nothingness. So I'm going to take this photo that I've brought in, and again, this can be photo, video, whatever, and I'm going to make sure to drag it. I want to drag it underneath my video layer, so it's, whatever is on top is what we're going to see first. Now, there's no room to drag it in. There's no other video layers, so, they kind of stack up. So video 1 is the last video layer. I can't put anything underneath it. So all I'm going to do is take this video track and just drag it up one. Okay, so now I suddenly have room to put my photo, my still photo. I'm going to drag it over, and I'm going to make it the whole length of my video. All right, now again, I'm not using a tripod on this shot, so the mask does not move, but I'll show you some cool animation stuff we can do. I do want to make my photo smaller. It's blown up really big. So I'm going to click on it, double click on it, effects controls. So now I'm looking at the effects controls for my photo, not my video footage. I'm going to come to motion, and I'm going to just scale it down by clicking and dragging. Right, so you'll notice it's shrinking, but now it's like completely out of the frame. So I want to move it, and I can do that with the position tools over here. Right, oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so there it is. Now it's in frame. So now it looks like my daughter is watching this flower thing on her screen. Now, as I said, it's not moving though with the movement of the video. There are certainly easier ways to move the mask. First is filming with a tripod, but if for some reason you didn't do that, or maybe you want to move the mask for other reasons, every single effect has these little stopwatches, which signify keyframes. And all a keyframe does is it's making it so that way it's telling the computer you want the value of a specific effect to be one thing at one part of your video. And as we move along, you want it to change to a different value. So in this case, I'm going to hit my video again. And I want my mask path, all right, to be at this position at the beginning of my film, okay, because now it's in the right spot. So it adds this little diamond, and that's called a keyframe. Now I'm going to scan forward a little bit, and I notice that it's starting to move, right? The mask is no longer lined up. So I'm going to hit my mask path. Okay, I hit the mask path, and now here's my mask again, and I want to move my little dots. so it lines up again with my screen. Okay. You notice it just added another keyframe. All right, let's go forward a little bit more. Oop, it's not lined up anymore. Let's move that. Now again, I can do this with scale, and I'll show you our opacity. All right, and let's just add one more just so I can kind of show you what this looks like. Okay. So I have now, it's 4 keyframes. Let's go back to the beginning and see what this looks like. Let's hit play. Okay. All right, so obviously it's not perfect. It's still not perfectly lined up, but if I was to get rid of the keyframes, so I'm just gonna say delete my keyframes. All right, here's what it looks like without any keyframes. Okay, so not perfect with the keyframes, but certainly a lot better. All right, as I said, you can do this with anything. So let's say I want to, you know, scale my video. All right, so I have my video selected. I'm going to hit scale. All right, so at this point, I want it to be this size. And by the time I get to this part of the video, I want the video to be zoomed in. Okay, so it just added another keyframe. I'm going to go back to the beginning, hit play. And do you see how it's automatically zooming in? Okay, so you can do that with literally any effect. Okay, I want this to go back to 100. You can also do this with opacity. So I want the video to fade out. All right, so I want the fade to start here. I'm going to come over to my opacity. Here's my opacity. So at this point of the video, I want the opacity to be at 100%. So I'm going to hit opacity. Okay, so now it's at 100%. And by the time I get here, I want the video to be faded out entirely. So I'm going to change my opacity to 0. It just added another keyframe. So watch what happens. All right, so the video fades out. It's leaving the photo underneath. Okay, so that's how we use keyframes and masks to create some like simple and cool animations in Premiere.